It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association, and it can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Saturday morning, it is time for Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Johnny Wharf along with Shaleen Shaw, and maybe for our listeners, just a little background on Mr. Shaw.
Sure. Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm actually a Parkersburg native and grew up right across the river here, and went to PHS and then went on to WU. And actually, my first job was back here in the area in Sistersville, the old carbide plant. So I had an opportunity to come back home for a while, but ultimately found my way to Texas, where I've been now for the last 15, 16 years. My wife, in fact, also from Parkersburg, so we've been down there, but had the opportunity to come back professionally over the last couple of years and try to make a go of it, building a company locally.
Specifically about your business now and what you do in your business. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, we have a small company called Flat Rock Development, founded by myself and a couple of partners, all West Virginia University graduates, chemical engineers, and I'm the CFO for our company. And we just started this thing really out of an idea, and just been kind of hustling and scratching and clawing and trying to make a go of it, and kind of build a company that represents our values, which are very much about being from the Mid-Ohio Valley, from whether you're from Ohio or West Virginia, it's still the Valley, and there's a certain set of values that we believe in terms of how you do business, how you treat people, and how you want to be treated.
Shaleen Shaw is our guest here on Energy Insights. I think our listeners would be interested in the move, from college to what job and where you landed, and then how you ended up where you are now.
Sure. Yeah. I was lucky when I graduated. I actually had interned at the carbide plant, and they offered me a job when I was a senior in college. So I thought, hey, this is great. Get a chance to move back home, eat. My mom will cook for me.
Right.
Life is good. But actually gave me the opportunity to learn quite a bit. I didn't have any exposure to the chemical industry before, and so I learned just a tremendous amount about, really, to be honest, working with people who were all different backgrounds. And but then sort of my interests were much bigger than that, and really bigger in the sense of I just felt like there was a big world out there that I didn't have the opportunity to see. So went back to school, got a master's in business at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, and that started to expose me to just a lot of people from different parts of the country and different parts of the world, frankly. And ultimately made my way into Houston. What I really liked about what drew me to Houston was energy. I thought, well, hey, I'm an engineer, so I really understand how energy is produced, how it's made, whether it's electricity or coal or oil and gas. But I didn't really understand the business side of it, and I found a job in Houston that exposed me to the business side of energy, and spent about 15 years down there, 15 years learning the business of energy from a finance and risk management perspective.
I find it interesting and intriguing when a young man says that I was lucky. I think you make your own luck when you're bright, and so a credit to you for that. But talk about a couple things maybe that piqued your interest in the energy field that kept you driving toward starting your own company.
Right. Well, I always felt like one of the things I'd learned really from college is just having that engineering mind. You're always curious about how things work. So I always look at the world from, well, how does that work? So if there's you start to learn the technical side from an engineering perspective, but business was something I didn't understand. So just trying to learn the business side of how it works. In other words, how does a company make money so that I have a job, or that something anyone has a job, right? I mean, companies got to make money, but I didn't really understand that. And so having all those years of experience and really seeing the numbers. So for me, I guess at my core, I'm a numbers guy. And so when we started this company, I said, hey, I think I would like to be our numbers guy, our financial guy, because I think that's an area where I've learned quite a bit, and I think I can offer that skill set. And so in any business, whether you're running a little grocery store or dry cleaner, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to make a profit. It means you got to earn more than bring in more than you spend, and that's how you're going to keep yourself employed, put food on the table, and frankly give other people jobs.
For our listeners out there that are still trying to figure this out, it kind of came on here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Talk about some of the things that are maybe misconceptions from the financial side that you see that might give some light to some folks that are wondering.
Sure. With things like natural gas and oil, and it's mostly natural gas that's being produced now out of the wells around here, these big horizontal wells that people talk about. We don't get to choose the price at which we sell it. This broader market tells you the price. So there are days where, yeah, sure, you can make money, and you can make a lot of money, but those days aren't here. Right now we're in a pretty big slump. Natural gas prices are near all-time lows, and so companies are really struggling because the wells, while they're getting bigger, they're really expensive. Back in the day, all these wells drilled around here, you could have drilled them for $100,000, $200,000. Now you're talking about $10 million for one well, and usually when you're drilling a well like they do today, you drill 4 or 5 at once, so now you're talking about $40 to $50 million, and that money's hard to come by. So while things came in a kind of a big boom a few years ago, it went out with a big bust, and we haven't really recovered.
All right, and then from the Shaleen Shaw perspective, opportunity for young people, whether they get in on the financial end or the engineering end of the oil and gas industry, are there a lot here? Do you feel like there? I mean, you're here,
Right.
So there must be something, right?
I think there have been with the boom, and unfortunately with the bust, those opportunities have dwindled a bit. So I think people need to be patient. No matter what opportunity you may be looking for, but I think if you work hard, like anything else, you could find some opportunities. I think there's always an opportunity for someone who's willing to work hard, wants to learn, and comes at it from that mindset of, I'm going to do my best no matter what it is. But, are there going to be lots of those jobs right here, right now? Probably not. And, a lot of people, including myself, have moved away to find those opportunities. But, if you're anchored somewhere, and my parents and my in-laws still live in Parkersburg, so I have some roots here, it's never too late to come home and try to make a go of it. So don't feel like if you don't do it now, you're giving up on your hometown, because you're not. You can always come back.
All right, you're a good example of that. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Shaleen Shaw is our guest here on Energy Insights, brought to you each and every Saturday morning by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wolf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.